What is up? We are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide. I'm the host, the best one, Donnie, here with both co-hosts of We Are Wrestling.
What's going on, everybody? Danny Huckins here, man. We're gonna be talking all things WrestleMania.
We're going to be recapping on some of the highlights of probably, if not the greatest WWE weekend in recent times. Ben here, how you guys doing? We Are Wrestling. It is going to be absolutely fucking fantastic tonight. We got a special for you guys. It's going to be a lot longer than it usually is. We're going to be talking and recapping on a few huge topics. So, Don, take it away, my man.
That's right. And we're also going to be recapping night 2 because the reason why we decided to wait was because we wanted to have Ben on the talk show here with us to recap night 2. And of course, some of us, we have to work full-time jobs outside of here. And because of that, if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet, the best way to support the channel is by hitting that subscribe button now, turning on the post notifications. Videos be coming out of nowhere like a Stone Cold Stunner. And of course, you already know, the grind is real. And it has been absolutely insane this weekend with WrestleMania.
Oh my God.
I think it definitely was beyond our expectations.
Oh my God, it was so fucking good, dude. Like, it's been a long time since I have watched a WWE pay-per-view event live where it was just captivating the entire time from front to back. Like, night 1 has topped like many WrestleManias in recent times in just night 1. Like, I'm glad with WrestleMania night 1 they got kind of like, the boring matches out of the way and just got done with it first and just put the end on that shit so we can move on to the real shit that was going down.
I agree. When it started off, like, for me, like, the momentum was definitely Bianca versus Becky.
That's where it started. Oh my God. And I want to talk about that real quick. I was not, and you guys can obviously watch the previous episodes of, We Are Wrestling, and you can also check out the 26 Pure Rage podcast where we've, hinted at some of the matches that were coming up, I wasn't thrilled about Bianca and Becky whatsoever. I had no interest in even talking about it because, we were just basically repeating, the same story with, just a different punch. However, that match, holy fuck. That match was absolutely incredible on both fucking ends. Becky delivered, Bianca beyond delivered. There was a botch where Becky did the fucking somersault off of the top rope and she was supposed to land on her shoulders, knocked Bianca in the eye, and her shit was swollen shut at the end of the show, dude. I was like, and didn't even react to it. Didn't even fucking react to it and just kept the fucking show going, dude. Like that.
Miss WrestleMania. That's Bianca Belair right there. That's her nickname now, Miss WrestleMania.
I have to give it to fucking Bianca Belair, dude. Like, this is the reign that I'm legitimately excited for now, and this is the feud I'm legitimately excited for the future with Becky Lynch off the title picture, hopefully for a little bit. I'm minus obviously her rematch. It's gonna be sweet to see where Becky's gonna go Horizon like. We may see the fucking Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey finally, eventually. So I'm kind of excited where that train's going to go. But, man, I want to talk about the main thing that really...
Yes, well, that's the thing. Like, with night 1, Danny and I, of course, we did a review. And, Ben, you were not here, so we really want to give you the spotlight here. Let us know about night 1, Ben.
All right, so... I want to talk about a little match called Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes. Oh my God. Like, so I knew everybody knew that Cody was coming back. We knew. But it's how they executed it and how they put, pen to paper and did it finally. I couldn't believe what the fuck I was watching. Even 3/4 through the match, I still couldn't fucking believe what I was watching. Like, Cody feels like a big name now. Like, he feels it. Like, that whole match proved that he is a big name. He's one of the top guys now. He performed like he's one of the top guys now. And I read an article, I think earlier today, the things that him and Vince had, spoken on. And he was like, he was open about it. He's like, yeah, I trashed the company, and said some fucked up shit for the past 6-7 years. But Vince, none of that mattered to Vince. Vince literally was just like, you went out and did it. Basically saying, you went out and you made yourself a star. And he did. Like, Cody feels like a marquee name. Both of those individuals, even Seth, they both fucking killed it. And the fact that they really went out there and made it even and dug deep into it was the line where fucking Seth punched him in the back. He's like, welcome back to the big leagues, bitch. And then just fucking just hammered into him. I was like, that is great fucking heat between Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, but also heat in the wrestling industry, which also made you even more invested into the match, because putting him up against Seth Rollins as his first opponent back,
it really felt like a pro wrestling match,
it
which
did.
is so weird.
They gave them almost a half-hour fucking slot, dude. Like, that shit was a long match, paced beautifully. Both of them wrestled their fucking hearts out, dude. Like, they went out there and stole the fucking show and blew the goddamn roof off of it. Like,
I have a question for you, though.
What's up?
When Cody was coming down to the ring or whatever, we got that shot of Seth in the ring.
And he started like laughing his ass off, and then he looked pissed.
He was laughing and smiling, and then it's like, he went back to his gimmick, whatever. How much of that do you think was staged, and how much was that like excitement to be able to have this kind of match? Because they have had matches on the indies before, but never to this kind of magnitude.
Well, what I'm going to say to what I'm going to say to that is, I think Seth was very excited. That laugh was part of his character. But his facial expressions, you can't contain excitement. No matter how much you try, you cannot contain excitement. And it was all over his face the moment he even came out to the fucking ramp. He was already fucking glued with excitement because he knew what the fans were in for. And just, I think everybody around the world, not even just in the stadium, everybody around the world felt that last night or the other night. Like, we all felt the electricity that was radiating in that arena, dude. Like, it was just, oh, dude, like, I'm so excited. It was absolutely dashing, stupendous. And I just want to give a shout out to Cody for doing that little cutter that his dad used to do, the fucking like, he fucking went there, dude. Just everything about it, like, on both ends, just like, it was a perfect match through and through. Like, it was just, honestly, for me, other than the obvious Stone Cold's match, it was the match of the night for night one. Night one was the match to watch, was a 5-star classic, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. They literally were the money match of WrestleMania, in my opinion, in general. They were the money match. And that's I said this when we did review night one. Me personally, I honestly feel like night one was a lot more structured and a lot better than night two. Night two was up in the air, even like right before night one started. Like, it was already very up in the air. Like, they've moved the Kofi Kingston and fucking Ridge Holland, right? Kofi Kingston, the New Day, and Ridge Holland and Sheamus match to night two last minute.
Wasn't their match like 2 minutes? But we're gonna get into that on night two with the review there.
We will. But yeah, like, it was very up in the air. But fucking night one, dude, holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. Like, it was just everything that everybody has wanted from WWE for so long, and like, this is why everybody beats the shit out of them, because when they do it fucking right. Like, when they listen, they fucking listen. And it's funny because Vince McMahon is the MVP of the week, 100%, if not the month. He's the MVP of the month, because I actually rewatched Pat McAfee and Vince McMahon's interview on the Pat McAfee show recently.
Yeah,
and at first I thought it was bullshit, because Vince was like, oh, I'm a really good listener. I'm really good at listening. I'm like, no, the fuck you're not. And then I was like, oh, okay, this is what you were referring to. Gotcha. This is what you're referring to. Like, you really listened for this one. And for the most part, I will say he 100% was listening, because WrestleMania, I feel like, was 100% fan service. 100% fan service.
Absolutely.
And it paid off. This is going to be a most talked about WrestleMania for a while. They're going to be talking about this for years.
Everybody's saying this is the best WrestleMania since WrestleMania 31.
I will say, I will have to agree.
I agree.
WrestleMania 35 was a very close with WrestleMania 31, but 38, I don't know how they're going to top it other than The Rock versus Roman at 39, which is still the set in stone plan, but we'll talk about that another time.
It is kind of disappointing that we didn't get a surprise, which we'll get into. Obviously, everybody already knows if everybody's watched Mania or whatever.
Yeah.
But everybody was expecting for one last surprise at the end of the night, and it didn't happen. It's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I was really bummed out about that too, which unfortunately I have recorded, and you'll see a couple of my we'll talk when we get into night 2. We'll talk about my disdain for one of the finishes of one.
It's just so hard to talk about.
I was the complete opposite. I really enjoyed the ending because it really spotlighted Roman Reigns, and I think that was the best move.
We'll get to that 100, because I do agree with you. I do agree with you, and we'll definitely touch on that. But night 1, man, even I have to say, as much as I know you, Dan, don't even want to fucking talk about this, so I'm going to talk to Don mostly.
Hey! Fuck you, Danny.
But Charlotte and Ronda's match, regardless of the finish, it was fucking phenomenal. That was almost, for me, minus the ending, was a 5-star classic for me personally. It was just fantastic in-ring ability. It was just fantastic. What's up?
Hold on. So here's the thing now. I talked about this, I believe, with Danny on night 1 review. And here's what I think. You can't give Charlotte versus Ronda a 5-star because, in my opinion, when it comes to a 5-star match, everybody talks about the performance of it.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you have to have everything for a 5-star match. The storytelling has to be there. Absolutely. The rivalry, the build-up, everything. Yes, the match by itself, easily 5 stars, but overall, it's because the match was so good that I give it 4 stars.
Okay.
The thing that was missing was, of course, the storytelling.
100.
It was horrible.
Okay, so yeah, all right. So so I'll go a little farther and maybe give it like a 4.2 because the effort in the match was out there. So I have to give it a little bit more than a 4, but not a 5. Yeah, so
it can't be a 5.
Yeah, you definitely got me there, but 100, that match between both of them was flawless. All the way down to the submissions. I was genuinely paying attention to that entire fucking match. I was genuinely paying attention. I was like, dude, this is fucking awesome. They are both, when they're on fire, dude, they can burn down the house. Charlotte and Ronda can both burn down the fucking house, even in promo work when it's done right. Because both of them are ridiculous together chemistry-wise. So if you can get the story right and nail the promos and nail the vignettes,
no, that's my con about the two.
Yes,
they cannot cut promos for shit.
Charlotte can, but it's just not with Charlotte. This.
She needs a mouthpiece.
My con about Charlotte Flair is the fact that, yeah, she's a good athlete. I will give her that. I just feel like she relies too much on the Flair name. Everything about her gimmick is her father. Everything from the robe to the music to the woo, everything is her father.
So where I'm going to touch with that, I agree. I feel like she should drop the Flair, just become Charlotte, and change the gimmick, change the music, and change the attire. And you can still talk the way you do and still fight the way you do. Just change the fucking character if you want to stand out on yourself.
But here's the problem.
What's up?
They can't do that already because everybody knows her as Charlotte Flair. And I think if she does anything besides trying to be her daddy, basically she is going to end up probably being a mid-carder jobber.
See, I don't see that happening because of the status and the accolades she has already. And she's well known enough as Charlotte Flair to finally split off from that. She can stop taking the royalties because I see her separate from her father. 100%. I think Charlotte Flair is her own enigma. She has proven she can go outside of the Flair name. She just has Flair attached to it. If she dropped it, I still think she could thrive even more so as her own person. 100. If she can do that, Charlotte Flair's the whole package. 100%. That's the only bone I have to say with Dan that I have to agree with. 100.
Okay. So, anything else that we want to talk about night 1 before we get into night 2?
I do want to hear Ben's thoughts on the main event, man. Kevin Owens and Steve Austin.
Yeah. I can't even believe I fucking forgot about that. I can't believe I forgot about that. All right. When he came out and I saw him wearing the classic short shorts and the knee braces. I knew that it was going down. But the way that it went down finally, where, I saw him throwing shit out the ring, I was like, oh, yep, it's going down. But the way they were talking, it's like, oh, Steve, I tricked you. I was like, oh, fuck, here it is. Fuck, here it is. Fuck, here it is. And then he's like, oh, I came out for fight. He was like, in a fucking no holds barred, right? When he said no holds barred, I was like, the fuck you mean no holds barred? I was like, isn't this supposed to be just a classic match? Because, Stone Cold's injuries and shit?
Real quick, I want credit because I said in the prediction video, or I said it on a We Are Wrestling talk show, that I think that Stone Cold, if he's going to wrestle, it was going to be just like that Shawn Michaels versus Triple H at SummerSlam 02.
Yep, and you called it. You did call it. 100.
That's right. Yes, I did.
I will say, at first, they really did play the crowd. Like, they played the crowd 100. Because when he first started kicking Kevin Owens down, he was going slow at first. I was like, oh, shit, this is all he can do. And he was like, no, I'm starting just pounding the shit. I was like, like, okay, there it is. And then fucking the moment they started, like, actually fucking going at it, I was like, dude, this is giving me old school vibes where it was just like, he didn't do, like, the natural, like, punches that everybody else does. He does his, like, almost, like, slap punches like he used. I was like, dude, it is unreal that at 26 years old, I am watching a live match that involves Stone Cold Steve Austin.
It's fucking nuts.
Bro. That suplex, too, on the concrete.
Dude, that's what I was about to bring up, was his bumps. Dude, they both. Well, I knew that Kevin Owens' sells were going to be amazing, and he made Stone Cold look like fucking gold. He fucking clotheslined him, and he did a whole ass backflip for him. I was like, he fucked his shit up, and he made Stone Cold look like a god.
When Kevin Owens first pulled out the table, and he was gonna, it looked like he was gonna throw Austin through that table when it's propped up on the aisleway or whatever. I was like, all right, man, maybe they're not gonna have Austin do that or whatever. And then, like 10 minutes later, you see Austin getting suplexed on the concrete. I'm like, okay, so maybe this guy can take bumps,
dude. That is what fucked me up. What?
But here's the thing, though. Real quick, though, about the friggin' Stone Cold and Kevin Owens thing, I just want to say, like, it's absolutely crazy to see, like what friggin' Stone Cold did throughout.
I also do.
It's like he never missed a beat.
I do want to throw out, as, a shout out.
Kevin Owens deserves a mega push.
This is what I'm talking about. I do want to throw out as a shout out because I feel like he deserves all of this credit. Kevin Owens deserved this spot. He absolutely, if anybody needed to put the end on Stone Cold's career in a positive way, it was the Stone Cold character of today, and that is Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is one of the first Universal Champions that we have, right after Finn Balor. I literally believe that he deserved this angle. He deserved this spot in WrestleMania. He was the one to bring Stone Cold out of retirement and to graciously let him ride off into the sunset. Kevin Owens deserved this, and I am absolutely fucking proud of him. And he deserved
that contract he got in January.
Yes. I'm fucking proud of him. I'm happy for him. His push is going to be ridiculous because there's more things that are in that contract that we don't know about. This was just the first big thing. I am so excited for Kevin Owens because he's going to be known as Kevin Owens now. There's Kevin Steen is dead. It's Kevin Owens now. Like, Kevin Owens is where it was where he's making his name. Like, and this is the start of KO. Like, we've gotten KO, but it was his origin story. This is now the legend of Kevin Owens.
It's kind of awesome too because this was like a full-blown match. It went 14 minutes. Dude. It's not like it wasn't like a 5-minute thing.
And they both outperformed. Steve showed that he still had it and his heart was set in this match. He was happy to do this, and you could tell. You could fucking tell he was happy again. And he could tell he loved being back in the ring again. And the fact that he could move the way he was moving. Like, yeah,
he was in good shape.
Dude, he trained his ass off. And they came up to him a little after New Year's. So for the time that he had to get ready, he nailed it, dude. He nailed it.
Also too, I saw a thing with Jerry Lawler too on Instagram. Mm-hmm. He posted that Stone Cold told him, like, I see why you've been wrestling for this long. That adrenaline rush.
Yeah, dude, and he got to do it at WrestleMania in the place where he had his first match and his last match. And it was organic. It was a beautiful swan song on an amazing fucking career. It was a beautiful swan song. He needed this match because he had to fucking face it for 19 years that he lost his final match at WrestleMania to The Rock. So now he actually got to fucking have his swan song, and it was beautifully done. There was nothing I would have changed about that night for him.
Do you think that Austin sort of surprised himself with the kind of performance that he did put on? Do you think
absolutely?
Do you think this is the very last time we see Austin, or do you think he does sign down the road?
I think he may.
Appearances, no more match.
I don't think it'll be a match, but I could see some physical involvement in something down the road just to give him that, like, you know, like every so often, because, you know, he can dust off the cobwebs now. Then because he knows that he can. He can run he just ran a 14-minute match, and I know he's not ever going to do that again because his body's probably fucking killing him right now. But knowing, you know, the info that we know now, I think he's going to fucking be physically involved in something down the line. I think it just woke up something that has been sleeping for 19 years. So,
I mean, there's a possibility we might see him tonight. Tonight's the last Raw in Dallas, and then they go off to another city. So, I mean, there's always that.
Same arena, or is it a different one?
I think the arena that was on NXT was in and SmackDown was in on Friday. So
okay.
Yeah, so it'll probably be in the Dallas Mavericks arena or something like that. I don't remember the name of it, but it'll probably
all
be
right,
there.
So to close the end on night one in the main event, I will say that it was everything I could have wanted in a Stone Cold return and a retirement match. Like, it's everything I could have wanted. There was nothing, and you don't hear me say that often. Like, there was nothing I would have changed about anything about it. Like, I'm glad he didn't show up on Raw now because it all makes sense. I'm glad that, you know, it turned out the way it did because everything played out the way it was supposed to. And night one was just an example of how flawless WWE can still be.
And him doing the suplexes to Kevin Owens on the staging.
Absolutely. Nuts, everything was fucking flawless. Like, again, and
especially when he threw him down the stage.
That was hilarious. To look good, man, you need someone to make you look good. And Kevin Owens sold for his idol. Because
and now it's time for Kevin Owens to be in the main event picture.
He needs a title match.
That was literally
yes, he does.
That was literally the cementing of the passing of the torch for Kevin Owens in Stone Cold. 100%. I have to go there. Like, it was definitely a torch passing match. But that's it for night one, man. That's my thoughts. It was absolutely phenomenal. Out of the two nights, it had to have been the best, obviously, because it was just organic, structured super well. All the talent on the show was phenomenal. Had to give it to WWE.
I think, and I think I told Donnie this as well before we migrate to night two. I sort of said that all the highly anticipated matches that everybody was waiting for, they should have had all those matches on night two and have night one be all the matches that people want to see, but they're not that excited about. Have all the surprises for the very last night and have WrestleMania go off, you know, on a really, really high note. That would have been awesome.
I would have had a fucking heart attack,
here's the thing. But here's the thing. I felt like when it came to balancing, I thought they did a really good job. The only thing I would have changed was having 2 Raw Women World Championship matches on night one. Should have had one of them on night 2, the other one on night 1.
I think they were really, because
that very balanced.
Because what I'm going to say about night 2 is it felt very rushed.
Yeah,
it felt very rushed. So I can see why they didn't do it, because night 2, man, they were crunching for time. They were really crunching for time, dude. Like, night 2 was very, very paced fast. So,
and I think a lot of that stress too probably came because they probably realized that Lashley was healthy, so they had to put Lashley on the card.
We'll get to that because I have so many good things to say about Bobby Lashley. So let's get into night 2.
So now, guys, let's get into night 2. This is what everybody's been waiting for. And of course, you know, we wanted to wait until Ben was on here to do this because it was a stupendous WrestleMania.
And you have to have all 3.
So now, of course, we have to start off with not the opening match, but Triple H putting his boots in the middle of the ring.
It was a send-off, man. That was his swan song.
I feel like now, when you guys see my reactions to WrestleMania, I had a lot of good things to say. It almost broke me. I will say that it was nice seeing him. It was nice seeing him be the opener to WrestleMania, opening the show. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. It was nice seeing him do his entrance again for the first time in God knows how long. But what I will say is it felt very underwhelming and it felt overshadowed because it is WrestleMania. It felt very overshadowed because they were crunching for time. It felt really rushed. I feel like, a bunch of superstars could have came out and thanked him personally, like they've done for Ric Flair in the past, Shawn Michaels, Edge. Like I wish they would have been able to do something like that for him. I felt like it was just very underwhelming and just it wasn't disrespectful because he still got his moment, but
The thing is, I kind of liked it because Triple H, his character's always been, like, besides DX and Evolution, well, no, not just DX. The spotlight has always been on Triple H, and I think that's why they did it the way they did.
100. I just, for somebody as big of a prominent role in WWE and its, fundamentals and its development over the years, I just feel like sending off Triple H would be like sending off Mr. McMahon. Like it's as big and as impactful as that because Triple H is the reason why we have a lot of these great fucking stars that we have, even if they are still here in the mothership or in AEW now. Triple H is to thank for a lot of these guys. So, when he was running the Black and Gold brand, it was some of the, if not the best product WWE had. I feel like they should have given him a proper send off. 100%.
When you really think about it, and I'm gonna break it down to you guys just like I did on my stream last night. NXT when it was in its infancy, it was sort of like almost like a competition type show. Yeah. It wasn't the NXT that we know. It was sort of in the vein of like Tough Enough. Triple H ended up taking it over a couple of years afterwards, turned it into its own entity. And I feel like if it wasn't for NXT and AEW doing the Wednesday Night Wars, I kind of feel like AEW would not be where they are either.
Yes.
Because they had to push themselves because they had competition same night. So, they had to...
Everything happens for a reason.
Go above and beyond. I honestly feel like Triple H has done more than people honestly think he has.
And that's why
the pro wrestling business.
And that's why I said, man, I feel like he should have had a bigger acknowledgement. We should have seen some character breaks. Like we should have seen Roman Reigns come out and fucking, give a thank you or a hug or something just to, break away from the kayfabe for a second. Like that's something I would have loved to see because then it would have definitely broke me and that would have been great for content. That would have definitely broke me.
I wouldn't have done anybody like Roman Reigns.
I would because
maybe like Undertaker, a couple NXT guys.
Here's the thing though, Undertaker fucking broke kayfabe for Ric Flair. So and he doesn't break kayfabe for anyone. So it's like to see Roman Reigns do that for Triple H because he was a Triple H guy. It would have made sense.
What'd you think about Triple H hugging his daughters and stuff at the end, like before he went up?
One, it was beautiful. Two, holy shit, dude. That just shows how old we are. Because I remember when his first daughter was born. Now she looked old as shit. She looked like she's like fucking like grown up now. So I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I remember when fucking Shawn Michaels was showing what his baby looked like, and it was just Triple H in a baby's body. And that was his firstborn. His firstborn looks like a grown-ass woman now. I'm like, dude, where the fuck has time gone? And then it hit me. WrestleMania 22 was like heaven to me. That was 2006. And then it dawned on me, holy shit, we're at WrestleMania 38, almost 40. Mm-hmm. Where the fuck has time gone? Like, so that's where it really hit me. When he went to go hug his kids and I saw how old all of them are, it just showed, damn, man, like all of our heroes are gone.
It's just weird. Like,
it's nuts.
You grew up watching these guys, and now like Taker's retired, Triple H is retired,
and
Steve Austin. I mean,
and it's bittersweet because like it's times like this where you thought that they were immortal and they were never going anywhere. Like, oh, they got years on them, and now they're gone. You're like, but part of you accepts it. It's like, oh yeah, it's his time, but that's the bittersweet part of it.
It seems like yesterday Triple H was with Evolution being, the world champion, fucking fighting Shawn Michaels at fucking SummerSlam and shit for the world heavyweight title. It's just weird, and like I don't know, man.
We've done a lot of talking about it. Don, what were your thoughts on it, man?
Yeah, my thoughts on the send-off, I thought that it was nice. I think Triple H probably didn't want that whole thing with, like, everybody, because Triple H is still going to be on television, probably not as much, but he's still going to be there for the specials.
It's just
and
so,
stuff.
like,
Bring back the authority.
100, and I'd be for that.
The fact that he had to retire, but it wasn't his choice. He didn't have a choice. Kind of like Edge. It sucks.
But this one, he's not coming back from because it involves his heart. So it's like he's done. You know, like it was the Widowmaker.
But I think Triple H is okay with that.
And I think he's accomplished.
I'm grateful to see one of my heroes, Triple H, healthy. He looked healthy. He looked happy. To me, that's all that matters.
It's just sad seeing, one of the most charismatic microphone fucking wielders of all time become someone so private and humble now. It's just, it's bittersweet.
Remember how over he was when he came back in 2002 after his knee surgery or whatever? And
I also remember how fucking roided out he was too.
Yes, and then like he had that time where like he stopped.
Then it looked like he was deflated.
Evolution with the handlebar
And
mustache.
he looked deflated.
And then he got himself jacked.
I will never get tired of listening to Motorhead though, man.
I will say my favorite fucking Triple H return has to be SummerSlam 07 because he looked genuinely good off of roids. When he came back and the handlebar mustache was gone. I was like, yes, he's got a beard. Let's go.
My favorite feud was when he came back from that big ass surgery in 2002, and he was feuding with Chris Jericho, and they had the match at WrestleMania 18. And remember, Stephanie and him were gonna get married, and then she faked her pregnancy, and they had that whole thing. Dude, that was a great fucking rivalry, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now let's get into the opening match for WrestleMania 38, Night 2. It was a triple threat tag team championship match for the Raw tag team champions. We had RK Bro versus Alpha Academy versus the Street Profits.
There was RKOs all around for fucking everybody. Dude.
Can we talk about Montez Ford?
Dude, that fucking dude is a god fucking beast.
He flipped over the fucking top rope, over the fucking the ring post. Nuts, man.
Can we talk about Riddle's fucking RKO off of the top rope and then fucking super RKO'd this bitch? Then Randy Orton came out of nowhere with his fucking RKO. I was like, fucking Montez jumped off and he caught him and just, I was like, my tag team.
I will say that match should not have been first. I would have put the New Day match.
Yeah. That match should not have been first.
Nope. I think it should have been first because guess what? That starts the show off hot. The energy when I saw that match, I was off my seat and I'm like, all right, this is how we're starting off Night 2.
I got to go with Don on that specifically because
you have to start the show off
dude,
strong.
The boner was so fucking real. I almost blew a load in my belly button.
Yeah, but the fact that this match
came in hot,
but yet the New Day match was so far up on the card, like
that should never even been on the card. Yeah, it really shouldn't have.
Both of those tag teams right now are absolutely fucking useless. So I had no interest in seeing any of them on screen. So we can delightfully skip that match when we get to it. But
that first match was so good. I thought it was a great match, and I'm not gonna lie, I've had my doubts about RK Bro, but they are a pretty good team. So I
need to double fist both of y'all because both y'all shit on my fucking love for RK Bro at first. You doubtful, so fuck you. And you said you couldn't stand RK Bro, Daniel. You said you couldn't stand RK Bro at first. No.
Watch my streams, man.
I will.
Watch my streams.
But you shit on it at first. You fucking shit on it at first.
I said
no. I am the biggest RK Bro fucking mark on the planet. No, you are not doing this.
Oh my god.
They are not the greatest tag team in wrestling.
I'm not
right
saying
now.
that, but he shit on it. I'm fucking shitting on both of y'all doubts. I'm shitting on both of your doubts. I'm double fisting this.
Let me talk, man. I said I would not mind them starting a feud and breaking up potentially. I think RK Bro, they're like one of the only legitimate tag teams in WWE.
Yeah, I know. But I have to say, holy shit for both of them. Like, Randy looks like he's having literally the greatest time of his fucking life right now. This dude also broke a record for walking into WrestleMania with every single fucking title there is to grab, minus the NXT title, which I honestly would not mind seeing him do a stint in NXT. That would actually be awesome, and that would put a lot of fucking superstars over.
My pick.
Yep.
My pick was either RK Bro or Alpha Academy to win. And I did say in my stream last night, I was like, if they ever gave Otis a world title match, I would not be upset. That dude is a monster. It just takes the right person to bring it out in him.
I just need to say this right now. I praised the fuck out of Chad Gable. Chad Gable when I was recording it.
Thank you!
And dude, can I just talk about how fucking hilarious it was when he just came out of nowhere, just smacked the beer cup, and he was just like, when you are in my presence, you shh. And then he got fucking got.
Yeah, we are gonna talk about that like towards the end of this match. But back to what I was saying now. I give credit. RK Bro is good. What I hope now out of this moving forward, we keep RK Bro together until the Royal Rumble. And then let's have ourselves a really good Mania match, Riddle versus Orton.
Yep, with Riddle winning the Royal Rumble by eliminating Randy Orton, splitting up RK Bro. He's be like,
yes,
you gotta do what you gotta do, Randy. It's every man for himself. It's the Royal Rumble, bro.
Dude, so many people, when Riddle first came into WWE, everybody, including a lot of the people that work for the fucking company, were shitting on him.
Mm-hmm. They didn't think he was gonna. Now he's the most loved one of the most loved superstars that they have.
I will say,
hey, the thing is, I was a fan of Riddle before he got signed to WWE.
I didn't know him until NXT. I know he had like a UFC career or whatever.
I actually knew him from UFC.
Evolve.
My only thing that I don't like about the whole overall character is the fact that his name is just Riddle now. It's not Matt Riddle. And
it's because the allegations, bro.
I don't know. I think Matt Riddle is the whole package or whatever.
I think Riddle's good.
Made the name.
I think Riddle's great. Riddle's great, man.
Right.
I fucking love the name Riddle. It honestly worked.
That's the one time it didn't.
And he was happy. He was like, "Hey, it's my real fucking name." So he's like, "I'm not mad about it by any means." So I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude, rep that shit. It's just Riddle now." Cool. Like that's still a main eventer, bro. Like I literally cannot wait for this feud between Randy and Riddle that is obviously imminent. I think that is going to be. I think that's going to be the move. I think he's going to win the Royal Rumble this coming year because that was the plan this year until everything, obviously, things started to pop up and all that shit, and things kind of weren't going their way, but they still saved it. I think the two main events for WrestleMania next year, quote me, are going to be Roman Reigns versus The Rock, Matt Riddle versus Randy Orton for a world title, and Riddle's going to Riddle will win. I just don't know who is going to have the title. I think Orton might win it at some point, and Riddle's going to win. I don't know.
Yeah, but you have to think about this. What if WWE does what everybody wants them to do? They keep one of the titles, they retire one of the titles, and then you have Roman Reigns going for, or The Rock going for the title against Roman Reigns next year at WrestleMania. How would you have Riddle and Orton fighting for the title at the same time? And if that's the case, how is Riddle or Orton going to be able to take the title off of Roman Reigns?
Well, at some point.
No, they wouldn't take the title off of Roman.
They're going to take the title off of Roman at some point.
Yeah, but my thing is, Ben just said he wants to see Riddle and Orton fight for the title at WrestleMania. But if Roman is the champion going against The Rock, how is that going to work?
Here's the thing.
Because the titles aren't friggin'. They're gonna definitely tonight announce a new friggin' champion or something. No way they split it.
Or he's just gonna carry two belts and eventually it's gonna be split again. Which honestly, I don't mind split titles. Just end the brand split. Like end the brand split, but you can still have two big titles. There's no fucking issue. There's no issue.
The Intercontinental Championship used to be fucking
prestigious,
and now it's fucking nothing.
It's a jobber title, but but it was the person that carried it that made it important, and we haven't had a lot of important people carry it lately. If you put it on the likes of Randy Orton or something, it would mean something again. If you put it on the likes of Rey Mysterio, it could possibly mean something again. You know, it could become a prestigious title. It just depends on who's carrying it and what story is being told with it.
I do gotta
we just need solid pro wrestling matches with those titles.
I do gotta let you guys know, and I've been right for weeks, man. I said they took the IC title off of Sami Zayn because Johnny Knoxville was gonna beat him at Mania.
But why take it off of Ricochet?
Hey, we'll talk about that. But now the next thing definitely we have to talk about before moving on to the next match. What were your thoughts on Gable Steveson making his first appearance?
Underwhelming.
He's good. I can understand why, everybody's, up in arms about him joining the company. But the dude, like, when he took his shirt off, whatever, I was expecting to see like an 8-pack with the way everybody's been, Olympic gold medalist.
Well, yeah, but
athlete.
He's also your typical mat wrestler, and he's also bear mode, so he's building more for mass. Who knows what he could do shred wise now that he's under WWE contract? This is his whole mass. He needed the body weight for wrestling. He's a heavyweight, or maybe even a super heavyweight.
It just seemed like he had a dad bod. Like, the dude definitely needs
to
hit the gym.
When he fucking lifted his arms and shit, you could see the 6-pack under that shit, dude. Homeboy is just built like a fucking bear. That's it.
Yeah, because with mat wrestling, like you do have to be a certain weight, and he was in a pretty tough weight class, so he had to keep weight on.
All I'm saying is,
look at fucking Vader. He's fucking jacked as shit, but he had a lot of fat.
And
I know, but when you're in WWE, yeah, that was back in the day. But when you're in WWE and everybody is up in arms, you have to look a certain way. You have to have a certain look to you. Vince McMahon is a bodybuilder-esque kind of guy. I feel like if Gable Steveson is supposed to be taken serious, especially in pro wrestling, which is a lot different than amateur, he definitely needs to start hitting the gym and, getting prepared for his debut.
Well, 100%, I agree. But you also have to remember, Vince hired this guy. So obviously he's okay with it.
Yeah, but he's not even like that bad.
He's in great shape. Gable Steveson is Steveson rather.
Compared to Keith Lee? Compared to Keith Lee?
But the thing is, they're building this guy up to be like the next Kurt Angle.
Speaking of which, what happened to that fucking dude that looks like Brock Lesnar on NXT?
He shaved his head. Yeah, Harlan. He shaved his head. He's got filled with tattoo. He kind of looks like Michael Myers without the mask.
He just looks like he looks like a more like roughed out Brock Lesnar. Anything going on with him lately?
Oh, he's a major stable on NXT.
I haven't seen shit.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of stuff with this guy Joe Gacy. Okay. He's really good. I like Joe Gacy a lot. It reminds me of kind of Rights to Censor, but with Bray Wyatt, which is actually kind of unique.
That's kind of why I want to see a matchup between Harland and Gable Steveson, because it basically is like a new age Brock Lesnar versus The Rock.
Yeah, so my thoughts on the whole Gable Steveson, Chad Gable thing, just like Ben said earlier, I thought it was hilarious when he snapped the cup out of the rookie's hands. What I wish happened,
that belly to belly suplex though was flawless.
What I wish happened was, yes, Chad Gable was really good. I loved how he did the shoosh thing. But here's the thing. I wanted Chad Gable to be a little bit more aggressive, being like, you're in our fucking ring or something.
Oh, no, 100%. But I think it
put the rookie in his place, kind of like how Kurt Angle put John Cena in his place.
Ruthless aggression. Then John Cena just bitch slapped him.
He gave him that good old Will Smith fucking left hook. He gave him that good old Will Smith Twisted T style action.
I do think instead of giving Chad Gable the belly to belly suplex, they should have at least had a little a 2-minute match or whatever just to get him prepared.
See, in my reaction, I said that they should have had him solidify his finisher instead of just a random belly to belly. They should have solidified him a finisher for people to look out for.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we saw that at WrestleMania. That's his. Give it the name. The end. They should have done that.
That's probably the best
finisher
thing
and then a theme song.
But anything else besides the Gable Steveson and that triple threat match?
It was cool to see the Street Profits and RK Bros sort of celebrate. They had a good match.
Okay,
they're celebrating WrestleMania. It was a cool sight to see.
This is my breakdown.
Yeah.
RK Bro, top dogs. Alpha Academy, the serious competitors. Street Profits, the entertainment backing. Like, that was 100% how it was booked.
That's what made the match so
yes,
awesome.
They had the right amount of everything, and it completely balanced out. So it was a fantastic match through and through.
Now the big question is, what do you guys think were in the red solo cups?
Beer. Probably some Bud Light or
Beer,
probably some
beer.
Broken Skull IPA.
Broken
Yeah,
Skull
probably.
IPA.
That was a big stable over the weekend.
Yeah, dude. Fucking Stone Cold was probably copping a buzz. He almost busted his ass going back up the ramp, and then laughed it off.
I thought when the cops came, I thought that they were going to make sure that Stone Cold.
Okay, yeah, you can't be driving home, man. But we'll take you back to the hotel, whichever you want to go.
All right. Yeah. So now moving on to our next match of Mania Night 2, we have the Colossus Omos versus Bobby Lashley, the Almighty.
I actually talked about how genuinely impressed and excited I was, oddly, to watch that match. I want to say that in the entirety of the reaction, I was genuinely stressing how I believe also that Omos needs a mouthpiece. But
he does.
He is a serious fucking athlete. The way that dude not only is shaped, but how huge he is and the way he moves in the ring. He flies for a fucking big dude. Flies.
You see that? You saw how high
he lifted his leg up? Do you see how fucking fast he ran for that fucking belly splash into the fucking turnbuckle?
He lifted his leg up like a fucking hooker.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, dude, this dude could fuck up Brock Lesnar. If he really tried, he could fuck up Brock Lesnar, dude. Like,
that's why they call him the Colossus.
Okay. Keep going.
Here's what I was thinking. What should have happened? I feel like the whole thing about the match was, Omos never being able to get taken down or whatever.
Yes,
they kind of they did it on Raw with the shoulder tackle. Bobby Lashley took him off his feet, which I don't think they should have done. I think he should have beat up Bobby Lashley, and Bobby shouldn't have put Omos down on Raw, because I feel like it defeated the whole purpose. But I do feel like they should have had MVP turn on Bobby Lashley, because the whole thing about MVP and Bobby Lashley is supposed to be this indestructible force, whatever, but he's lost a lot of matches over the last couple of months.
MVP is injured. That's why they probably didn't have him on Mania, because that, he just got
I also
surgery.
think that they're giving space away for him so he can finally do his own thing, because he's a babyface again. So I think they're going to solidify him as his own star without a mouthpiece for a little bit. I do think that it's absolutely phenomenal the way that he was booked last night. Bobby Lashley has a huge fan support right now. He was on fire.
I just want to say this. That
fantastic
was
fantastic,
perfect.
Yes,
10 out of 10. It proved his character is absolutely perfect. The Almighty. Everything about it was perfect. I love the shot of the friggin', what do you call it, the stadium, and then they had the Almighty.
Dude, I was talking about that in my reaction
amazing.
as well. I was heavily impressed. WWE went above and beyond in production this year too. And what were you saying, Dan? Before you forget,
have you guys ever thought about possibly, like, I know, like, the whole bloodline or whatever, it's supposed to be the whole, symbolized family.
Yes.
But have you ever thought about Omos getting traded to SmackDown, becoming the bodyguard for the bloodline, and having Paul Heyman be his mouthpiece?
No.
They just need, honestly, like, what they should do.
Omos needs to join the Hurt Business.
You guys. Here's what you guys probably won't get this, because I know you guys don't really watch NXT that much. But here's who I think they need to pair Omos with: Robert Stone.
I can see it.
Do you remember Robbie E? You remember Robbie E from TNA, from Impact?
Yeah.
The guy that was playing the Jersey Shore character. Yeah, well, basically they have him like now as like a manager over there, and I think you'd make a really good.
Yeah, but that would
Omos.
have to put Omos on NXT.
What I want?
No, bring Robert Stone up to the main roster.
Because the Hurt Business, by the way, Dan, is still around. It's just Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. However, I would love them to reunite with Bobby Lashley and have Omos join. Because then it would be the Hurt Business. That would fucking suck for everyone.
Last time we saw them on Raw, outside of I think they were in the Battle Royal on Friday or whatever. But last time we saw them on Raw, they attacked Bobby Lashley because Lashley didn't want anything to do with them.
Here's the thing. When it comes to Omos, honestly, his ass should go back to NXT because I'm sorry, but yes, he is very he is okay in the ring. But here's the problem. The problem is he is greener than the Green Giant.
Yeah, he's very stiff.
Did you see that botch last night? He could have killed Bobby Lashley.
I'm surprised Lashley was able to do everything after he smacked his head off the turnbuckle, especially coming back from a neck and concussion. Like, that's gotta fucking suck. And he went fucking hard. He bounced off that shit, and he went out for a second there because you saw him, stumble when he got down. Yeah. But the fact that he got back up, nothing happened, there was, no damage, and he was good, I was like, dude, it was scary to watch. And we'll get to the match where I'm going to talk about how scared I was during the entire thing. But that was a scary angle. I genuinely was concerned for Lashley for a second there because I'm like, oh no. Because night 2 had a lot of botches, but it was still prevailing.
I've been watching a lot of people review WrestleMania over the weekend and stuff like that. Just to get an idea what other people were thinking, see if they had the same thought process as me. And a lot of people are saying that Omos is the male version of Nia Jax, which he's a very, very unskilled worker.
Because he's so stiff. He's green around the gills, bro.
And that's the problem.
You have to have confidence.
The Green Giant, and they didn't give him enough time. Yeah, it's
if you don't have the confidence to do it, you're gonna fuck up because your brain is racing at 1,000,000 miles per second, and then you second doubt. And then if you doubt yourself, odds are you're gonna fuck up, and that's what happened.
I just don't want him to hurt somebody, man. That's dangerous.
But good on Bobby Lashley that he was able to bounce back almost immediately. I'm glad that he's okay. I'm glad that, the match was still able to finish it the way they wanted to, because if they botched more matches, man, that could have been horrible because they could have injured 2 major players and 1 somewhat jobber, because Rick Boogs got injured. Roman definitely got fucking injured, and fucking Bobby almost got injured. So it's and he just came back from injury 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago. So it's you gotta be careful. But I know that it's WrestleMania and every intention is high all around. But that was a scary botch, man. So, good shit for bringing that up.
Yeah, so here's what I think about the match overall. I thought that it was an average match. I really like how the moves that Lashley did mattered. I love the suplex he did to Omos. Love the spear, and I love the outcome because if Lashley lost this match, it would have made absolutely no sense.
They made him look great, and honestly, regardless of the botch, this match gave Omos a good portion of humility, which every superstar needs, because it shows what you need to work on. It shows good criticism. It shows where you are now and where you can be. Omos, I believe, is another one with huge potential, but a few tweaks and you could make him a star.
Yep.
One thing, definitely get him more.
And also, Jay is better than Jimmy.
And change it.
I feel like Omos, he needs put him on TV or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't think he should be traveling around with WWE like he is.
No.
I feel like he should be on Raw, and then he should go back to Orlando
and go to the Performance Center.
Go to the Performance Center, get in the ring, bounce around a little bit, get a lot more training,
take more bumps, all that shit.
But here's the thing though, and I got to give a shout out to one of my old co-hosts, Chaz, for teaching me this, because I always, never believed in the live events and stuff like that until he convinced me. He said to me that, and I think this kind of it wouldn't make sense for Omos to just do Raw, go back to training. The best training you get is at these live events, because that's when you're putting in your hours.
Absolutely, that, and you're getting the wear and tear.
Why do you think MJF and Darby
Allin a lot of time,
so
man?
Good?
A lot. What I will say
before
I
AEW,
think what I have to say about Omos the most that I think could help his in-ring ability and can also help keep him safer with other people is because he's built like a fucking tank, and underneath some of that chub is chiseled fucking muscle. So what I think he needs to do is take a diet plan from The Rock, like The Rock's diet plan, and apply it to Omos, because if you can shred him up and get him proportion, not only will he look like a star, but he'll be able to be more flexible. He'll be able to lift more. He'll be able to contort and do what he needs to do to keep people safe. One thing that I'm actually going to bring up from night one real quick to kind of go to coincide with this, there was a playback from a move that Cody Rhodes did where he jumped off the rope and then grabbed Seth and basically kind of like did like an RKO kind of.
Yeah.
The replay showed Seth before like Cody grabbed his neck. Seth reached his arms out and caught him first. Omos can't move that fast. If he was a little bit more chiseled out and went on a real diet plan that worked on his toning, he could move faster to do those things, and he could also be a lot more stable.
How do you guys feel about? Because I don't know, Ben. I don't know how often you watch Raw. I know me and Donnie usually watch it pretty regularly.
I keep up on Raw way more than I do SmackDown.
I honestly do not think Omos wrestling these guys who are like 165 pounds. I don't think that's doing him any good. Like, it's making him seem like a monster or whatever, but he needs to face people his size.
He needs to fucking prove that he's a monster.
Man, here's the thing. WWE should have never released Braun Strowman, because that would have made such a good Mania match.
A battle of the giants, a battle of the titans. 100%.
Now that would catch my eyes.
See, for me, what I would have loved out of this is I probably would have put Omos for like a good Mania match. I would have honestly, because I don't know if they can, depending on contract and where they are, I would have brought a legend back to face him at WrestleMania. And the legend that I'm going to choose is Kevin Nash. I would have had Kevin Nash Diesel face him.
Kevin Nash.
Not yet.
Kevin Nash, because Kevin Nash is also older. He's older, so
like he did 10 years ago.
Yeah, but he's got to be ready.
All right. So maybe not Kevin Nash, because I'm trying to think of a bigger dude, because obviously Big Show is in AEW's.
What about Great Khali?
Don't get me wrong.
Khali can't move the way he can. No, he can't move.
He can't. Yeah, he can't move. But I think Lashley was a good opponent. It's just I think this was a test for Omos to see, okay, where is he at now, and what can we do now?
Yeah, I think Lashley was a good ultimate opponent.
Like, I think likes to do that.
Bobby Lashley was probably the best guy you could have put him up against that they had on the roster actively. I think that was the best choice for him, because it was a good middle ground between a smaller guy but a fucking train, a fucking powerhouse to go against him and put him in a real test, which he ultimately failed, which gives him good humility into his character.
Anything else before, so that we can go from this average match to a fun match?
They need to definitely do something with Omos.
Yeah, just invest in Omos.
Was enjoyable, but Omos, man, he is gonna hurt somebody.
He has, he has his potential, but again, tweak him up and you have a star. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, so now moving on to a very fun match here. Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville.
10 out of 10 entertainment fun filler match, and it made both people look super good. Sami Zayn.
My expectations for this match was so low, and they went beyond my expectations.
I need to give a shout out right now, because I want to be the one to claim this. The highlight of that entire match was Wee Man fucking suplexing fucking Sami Zayn. That was the highlight of the match. Right, dude, I was not expecting Wee Man to literally pick this dude up and perfectly flip him. He picked his ass straight up and flopped this bitch like a goddamn pancake. Like, I was genuinely impressed with Wee Man. Like, and even Knoxville. I'm like, and what I loved about the angle the most is Sami Zayn beat the fucking shit out of Knoxville, but was like looking shocked when he kicked out. I'm like, what did you expect? You're going against a jackass star. He does this shit for breakfast. He's not going to kick out of your puny ass little kicks.
Can we talk about Party Boy, Chris Pontius? Party Boy?
Can we just talk about how Party Boy fucking got really like let himself go though? He used to be fucking ripped, and now he's like flabby.
Can we talk about
some of those? Some of those camera
we got
angles
his
were very
fucking
starring
gooch, we got his crack, we got his fucking bulge.
Can we sit here and appreciate the fact that Wee Man has a better body slam than Omos?
Oh my god, you make a fucking excellent point. Wee Man bodied that shit. Listen, Omos, if Wee Man can literally pick up an average male, which is basically the size of you to him, even bigger, and perfectly execute a body slam with a beer belly the size of Canada, but you've botched a fucking turnbuckle bomb, there is something fucking wrong here. There's something fucking wrong. Wee Man did in 5 minutes what took you a whole match to prove that you're not an asshole. Like, we are living in a time where Wee Man is a better wrestler than Omos.
Even Johnny Knoxville.
And the sad thing is, Wee Man didn't even fall to the ground. He looked hyped from that shit. He looked like he was ready to do it again.
And then Sami Zayn just kicked him right.
Can we just fucking talk about how
giant mousetrap?
Can we talk about how Sammy got bitch slapped by the giant hand? He fucking went straight down. Can we talk about Mark Henry's fucking retweet to that? They're like, "Oh, this is Mark Henry and fucking Mae Young's fucking love child," and then fucking Mark Henry retweeted it and said, "I always produce fucking like prodigies" or some shit like that. I was fucking dead. I was dead.
No, the thing that really went beyond my expectations, the bowling ball spot was hilarious. I loved the shock. I loved the shock thing. I loved when Sammy was on the top rope and then they freaking hit the pyro on the side there and it scared him. I also loved the mousetrap table. That was GCW.
I'm surprised we didn't
get
the ECW chance.
No, because Brett, the owner of GCW, is actually at Mania backstage. He took a picture with Stephanie. Maybe they had him come up with some of the spots,
especially for an anything goes match, dude. They had to have. What about the boot? Oh, that was fucking hilarious. That was fucking.
The boot.
I was so happy with that entire match because, like, I knew that it was gonna be, a marquee match and it was gonna be an entertainment match because, like, you can't have Johnny Knoxville there and not have some of the jackass props if it's an anything goes match. The one thing that I firmly stand by, and I think it's kind of fucked, I don't know if it was a scheduling conflict or not, Steve-O should have been there. He should have been there because everybody was coming out one by one, so I was like, oh, where's Steve-O? Is that going to be the final nail in the coffin? And he didn't come. I was like, damn, that's the one thing, because other than Knoxville, Steve-O is the biggest face, and then it's Wee Man.
I was waiting for Bam Margera to start skateboarding down to the ring.
There's too much bad blood with Bam Margera right now for Jackass, and they don't want to publicize that on WWE TV either.
Yeah, so here's the thing. My favorite thing about this match has to just be how Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, two best friends in real life, really went out there and they really stole the fucking shows.
Killed it.
Like, and remind you, they both just signed like contracts that were pretty fat, and like I think they literally proved to everybody that they're worth their contracts. No, Sammy's getting a lot of money now.
Sami Zayn after last night, he needs a raise. He's a world-class athlete, one of the best in the world, and he actually, went out there and did that kind of stuff for everybody.
Sami Zayn needs a WWE title shot. Not Universal, but WWE title shot.
With his conspiracies, I would love to see him win the Money in the Bank.
I would love.
That's the best way. That's the best way to make him champion.
Is a hell of a performer. He is literally. He is as good on the mic as MJF in a lot of ways. He is a class fucking act on the mic. That dude is one of the best to do it. He is a great mouthpiece in his own fucking right, dude. Like, Sami Zayn really does have it all. I think he deserves a mega push after Mania. Anything, and like I said also in my fucking reaction to it, I was like, dude, anytime Sammy's on the screen, I'm 1000% invested. Like, I can't look away. I love Sami Zayn.
What about his Instagram and Twitter videos? At first, he was going to the premiere of Jackass. Then he went to fucking Knoxville, Tennessee, Johnny Knoxville's hometown, and started questioning people. Do you guys have any dirt on Johnny Knoxville? Fucking, you have Johnny Knoxville fucking using a plane and fucking blasting Sami Zayn's phone number.
The phone
that was
number,
fucking hilarious.
I love that.
What was I gonna? Fuck. Let me check this thing that I follow. Hold on. There was a tweet that I was dying from that fucking Sami Zayn like retweeted and shit.
Here's the part I liked a lot about this match too. Was the finish, because it didn't make Sami look bad. It's like he was trapped on a mousetrap. He couldn't get out. Knoxville finessed his win. I like that. Because now,
could you imagine if Sami Zayn was the Intercontinental Champion and Johnny Knoxville ended up winning it? That's why they put the title on Ricochet. They didn't want Johnny Knoxville to walk out with one of their titles.
But I liked it because it was like a way of screwing Sami for the title as well to make the storyline more interesting. This to me was a 5-star match.
This match was better than it had any business.
So much fun.
Dude, it was so fucking fun. Like, this whole match was just absolutely phenomenal. I wasn't, like, dying to see it at first, but the moment it started, dude, I could not fucking stop watching. Just everything that they did was just exhilarating and just exciting for the fans, dude. Like, I just can't get over the fact that Sami Zayn, and this is probably my favorite part about it, was just, like how Knoxville just kept kicking out and he was just getting frustrated and just didn't know how the fuck it was happening. I'm like, dude, you're going against one of the greatest guys to do it in Jackass. What the fuck did you think? You could put this dude through a barbed wire table that was on fire and he would get up and scratch his ass. Like, I think just a fucking bee stung my cheek.
Being in Jackass, you have to have a high pain threshold, man.
Oh, yeah. All right, so I found the tweet.
Seriously.
So he tweeted 22 hours ago, a lot of people going to eat their bitch-ass words tonight. He retweeted it after the match and said, this aged well. He says some people are going to eat their bitch-ass words tonight.
Yeah, speaking of a match that aged well, moving on to our next match of Mania
I got one
Night
more
2,
thing to say about. I got one more thing to say, man.
Match.
It's gonna be very quick or whatever. But did you guys see the amount of blood that was coming off of Sami Zayn's back while he was in like the giant mousetrap?
Yeah,
from the table spot, dude. That was fucking insane, man.
He gave it his all. So what were you saying, Don? The tag team championships for the women's?
Yes, he did. Yes, so now getting into our next match, the women's tag team championship match. It was the champions, Carmella and Queen Zelina versus Sasha Banks, Naomi versus Natalya, Shayna Baszler versus
it was Natalie Neidhart. It was Natalya Neidhart and Shayna Baszler.
I got them.
And
I got them.
Yeah.
Oh, Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so what was your thoughts on this match?
Yes, absolutely.
Can I just say one thing real quick? I just want to say with the graphic there with the women's title, I wish they did that all night long. When they had, like, did you guys notice, like, when they did the shot of the stadium and then they put the title, like, graphic there?
Absolutely.
I wish they did that all night long.
So I only have a couple of things to say about it because I did believe that the in-ring and, everything that was going on in the match was great. I thought there was a few spots in there. However, and I need to bring my mic up so I can make this fucking clear. The finish was absolute fucking garbage. Sasha can suck my whole fucking asshole. I think she needs to get out of the fucking wrestling business because she wrestles like complete ass. Naomi can fucking join the bloodline already and stop fucking waiting around and just achieve fucking greatness because then maybe she'll have an actual fucking title shot and give Liv Morgan a fucking belt already. The end.
I totally 100% disagree, man.
No, I disagree, man. Sasha
okay,
is
you
the
Sasha
best
Mark.
female wrestler besides
I wouldn't say that.
I am.
She's good in
the ring.
She's ass in the ring.
What?
See her work?
Let me say my piece real quick.
Okay.
I feel like
Bayley.
the only choice that they had was Naomi and Sasha. I feel like remember a couple of months ago when Liv Morgan, she had a good singles run. Everybody was expecting her to win the women's title.
Yeah.
I feel like she needs to get out of this useless tag team with Rhea Ripley, and she needs to concentrate on winning a singles title. That's what I think.
But
she does not need to waste her time in a useless tag team that's not going to go anywhere.
And that's why I'm going to disagree with you.
I just want to say all these tag teams are fucking useless. I'm going to disagree with you guys
on Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan for one purpose. The other two tag teams, garbage. However, I will give the benefit of the doubt on Sasha and Naomi. They're two big names, two big stars. Obviously, they were going to get the titles. However, I don't think that Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan is a bad idea. I think that Liv Morgan needs to be attached to the hip on someone who has shown massive success in such a short amount of time that has that star power for her. I do think she needs to be taught a little bit by Rhea Ripley to get rid of the stiffness, to help build her character a little bit more and a darker persona that has been trying to go for. I think that Rhea Ripley can help train her on mic skills. I do think that they should have won the titles to give Liv Morgan an opportunity to defend as a champion, to give her more spots in carrying. I think that would have been a great thing to do in terms of Liv Morgan's career, because everybody else in the ring has held the tag team titles, but her. She's the only one that has not won any title. And I think that giving her the...
They should have never released Ruby Riott. Or Sarah Logan. That's the only...
So the Riott Squad, whatever, sense. But Rhea Ripley is a good choice to team up with Liv Morgan. It is a great thing for Liv Morgan specifically. So I feel as if they should have...
But where's the vignettes?
Obviously, they
build
didn't
up
take it home because they're very new. But this was a good first baby steps in a serious tag team competition to solidify them as a tag team. I do believe there could be great things out of it, which is why I feel like they should have gotten the belts to carry that and to, push out the unknown a little bit, because sometimes taking a risk and not putting your eggs on the same people that you're always putting on, which is WWE's biggest problem, which is why I'm saying put it on newer stars, let them carry the torch, see how they do. And if you're not sure, give it to Naomi and Sasha. That's an easy way to correct your mistake.
I'm just going to go put your players.
You got to take risks, But continue.
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, hey, you guys can agree with me. You guys can not agree with me. I think the entire fucking women's tag team championships are fucking pretty much useless.
I don't think they're useless. I just think they don't have the tag team division in the women's competition because there's not enough. There's not enough. They released more than half of their fucking women's locker room.
No. They're just pairing women up and being like, here's another tag team.
Oh, you guys look right together.
Here's the thing that's very disappointing about this, okay? You go look at the NXT women's tag team division. That is what the WWE women's tag team division should be. They have lots of great tag teams established in NXT. They actually show the build-ups to these tag teams. You can't just throw people on a freaking pancake and expect them to freaking, be good.
Since we're talking...
And that's what WWE keeps doing.
Since we're talking about the women's division, I do want to make an honorable mention. It has nothing to do with the tag team titles. It has everything to do with the women's singles title, whether it's Raw or SmackDown, but typically I'm going for Raw on this one because I'm going to make a guesstimation as to who Bianca Belair's opponent is going to be at WrestleMania. And I want to say that I'm rooting for this person because I think this person, this particular female individual, is going to be somewhat of the next Charlotte Flair. I think this individual has it all. Not the fact that she's, obviously smoking fucking hot. Oh my God. But I think the next big thing is Nikita Lyons. I think she is the next big fucking thing. She is going to... I want her and Bianca Belair to go at it. But I want Nikita Lyons to wipe Charlotte's face with the floor first. And then get to Bianca Belair.
I want somebody to come to WWE and beat the fuck out of Charlotte Flair.
And I want it to be Nikita Lyons. I want it to, because dude, she has the martial arts background. I watch her training videos, dude. Like, she's fucking ridiculous. The bitch can fucking
watch.
Plead the fifth. Anywho, But Homegirl has it with the nunchucks, dude. That is a dangerous bitch. That is a dangerous bitch. And not only is her fight style there, she fights like a fucking dude. She's got the charisma. She's great on the mic. Like, I want to see her fight Bianca Belair for a singles title. She has it. So, just since we're talking about the women's division, I just wanted to put out a talent that is heavily on my radar on NXT. But continue.
Yeah, so when it comes to the women's tag team division, for me, I didn't care about this match because the problem is that they don't build tag teams. They just throw people together and expect them to work together 100.
Well. But what I will say, for what it was worth, it was a good match. Everybody did perform. They did show up to work. And I will say that it still had that WrestleMania feel, and I enjoyed it for what it was. Shit finish, though.
When you look at all the teams that were in the match, though, the only logical choice was Sasha and Naomi. When you really think of it,
and both super established stars, and Sasha has held the title a couple times. So
I love Sasha's entrance too. I loved it with the Lamborghini.
I'm just not a fan of Sasha Banks whatsoever.
I was just thinking about, oh my god, like they're gonna drive off the fucking stage.
Ben's thoughts on Sasha Banks. That's my thoughts on Charlotte Flair.
To agree to disagree, you know.
Hey, wait, we all agree though that we all love Bayley though. We all love us.
I love me some Bayley.
Okay,
I love me some Bayley.
As long as we can agree on that.
As long as we can all agree on that. The night we're filming this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I'm gonna say this now too. Out of the 4 horsewomen, Bayley and Becky are my favorites. So they're my favorites, especially in terms of mic skills.
For me,
after this review,
Sasha
we'll go over Raw tonight and give our predictions on what possibly could happen. Because the night after WrestleMania, it's always the biggest Raw of the year. So.
Because it's attached to the weekend. The Friday before the WrestleMania weekend and Raw after are the biggest events you do not want to miss, because that's when the most surprises happen. SmackDown was useless, but Raw is huge, and that's where Cody is Raw.
So after this review, we'll talk about it.
That's right. So now, So anything else about the women's tag team champions? Because I really want to talk about this next match.
Is this the fun one?
All right. Now this, I think, is this is the best match of the night. Obviously, Edge versus
but while we go,
AJ Styles.
This is the one that I was talking about in the last one with Bobby Lashley and Omos. I was genuinely petrified the entire match for Edge. They took hard fucking bumps, both of them. When AJ jumped off to do the fucking front flip and Edge had his knees up, you could see the wind get knocked out of him. I was genuinely concerned for both parties that entire fucking match. Edge, I thought, smacked his neck in the worst way loads of times in that match. I thought it was going to be over.
It looked like AJ Styles
I love that they brought out like the long-term storytelling where fucking Edge specifically attacked that shoulder. He remembered it from 2 years ago. Like, that is beautiful WWE creative. It's like you're bringing out this.
Before we get into the match, man, can we just talk about what a spectacle it was to see Edge's entrance with fucking Alter Bridge blasting, man?
His new attire entrance for his heel turn was what I was looking forward to the most. The fact that they gave him a throne and the stairs full of fire, I'm like, dude, they really did Edge justice for a heel turn. And they gave him a new gimmick. I'm like, fuck yeah, man.
Because when Edge first came into WWE back in 98, he was a vampire character.
He was part of the Brood.
Like, his vignettes were him just going around in a black trench
coat,
like the alleys of New York City and shit like that.
Yeah,
it's creepy.
And they're bringing it back, but in a new, fresh feel. And they're developing a stable, and they have the best fucking guy to do it, Damian Priest. The moment I saw Damian Priest, I was like,
yes.
And he's got like some shadow going on. I was like, now either he's Edge's next opponent, AJ's next opponent, or there's something else going on here. But then when I saw Edge start to smile, I was like,
no.
Boner.
Edge needs to keep his ring attire, man. The black and purple, fucking phenomenal.
Yes, that's beautiful. But here's the thing. When it comes to the pairing of him and Damian Priest, I love it. Every second of it. People are criticizing this.
I want to know firsthand who came up with the idea, whether if it was Edge, Damian, or WWE Creative. I want to know who the fuck came up with it, because they need a fucking handshake and a goddamn raise.
I don't know, but we better hear from Edge and Damian
They
Priest
are.
tonight.
They're both on fucking Raw. They're both gonna fucking be there. There is gonna be answers. Raw tonight is a 3-hour mega event. I am not missing that shit.
Oh yeah, lots. I am gonna be doing lots of reactions.
My
to
God,
that. Oh yeah.
I wish there was an app I could download on my fucking Xbox because I would react to the entire show and film the entire thing. But I know that I would get copywritten the shit out of by WWE.
Yeah.
But I can't watch it on my Xbox, so it's like I don't know how to fucking screen record on OBS on my computer, and I'm not going to take the time to learn that 2 hours before.
Well, when Donnie does his reactions, he just, he lets some of the noise play or whatever, but it's just him. He doesn't show any of the footage. Or
yeah, anything. I might prop my phone up next to me and watch the show and react to it and stuff because, dude, it's going to be a fucking huge show, man. But as far as the match goes, I'm really glad we got the Bulldog AJ back. I'm really glad that we got your fucking ultimate opportunist, one of the greatest heels to ever do it in the entire industry. They both went at it head to head. They both gave it their 1,000%, took nasty fucking bumps. The execution on both ends, the chemistry in the ring, and the fact that we got to see AJ versus Edge when we should have never gotten that match, and it was supposed to be a fantasy match for our entire lives, and we saw it on possibly the greatest Wrestlemania of the past decade.
What do you guys like? What do you guys have to say about when AJ was coming out? We saw blood on his side of the cheek. Apparently, he hit his. Apparently, he hit his.
That was from
I
pyro.
I heard it was either the pyro or I heard that he hit his head on one of part of the staging or whatever walking out.
I think it was pyro. It burnt the shit out of him. Yeah, the pyro burnt the shit out of him.
Dave Meltzer
said. He rocked it, bro. He was bleeding before he even got in.
But can we all agree that was just beautiful storytelling?
And can I just talk about
such a beautiful match.
Edge's promo work? Yes, since he's been back, 100%. Since AJ has been in WWE, that was his best match he's ever put on. 100%.
I did like the Randy Orton match that he had at WrestleMania 35. Even though there was no crowd or whatever, that was a really good match. But this one is like the best match in front of a crowd.
I think it was 35. Yes, it was 35 because I do want. Yes, I would say it was 36.
No, it was
36.
Yeah, but I do want to mention that Edge's promo work is absolute gold since he's been acting. And to have a veteran in-ring general come back and then his promo work and live acting is pristine, top-notch, top-shelf shit. Best for business. Like, he's the greatest promo executioner there is in WWE right now. He's the greatest.
He's gonna build Damian Priest up to be a monster.
He's gonna train Damian Priest. Damian Priest is gonna be a main eventer once Edge is done with him, and I guarantee it's gonna lead up to a feud, obviously, in the future, and that is gonna be a huge fucking feud.
Yes, it is. This is the best thing that they could have done with Damian Priest.
If Damian Priest comes around for meet and greet, I'm just saying this now. We're going.
They proved to us.
I'm gonna be like, can you just speak to me for 5 minutes so I can listen, so I can feel the vibrations of how deep your voice is? I want to feel that shit in my chest. He'd be like, "Thanks, man." I'll be like, "Oh my God, thank you."
Anything else about this Edge versus AJ Styles
match? It is something that is going to be talked about for years. I think Edge is the prime example of what they're doing right for someone of his caliber, and they're really doing him service for his final run. This may be his best run in the history of his runs at this point, because he's going to against not only great newer names and putting good names over, even with his wins, he's putting them over, but you get to see some classic face-to-face shit again. Like, he's facing some of his oldest and best rivalries, and he's revisiting that all over again in the best shape of his life. So I'm excited.
You know what you want to know what I really hope for SummerSlam now? Can we get Edge
I think that is going to be in the cards
Cena?
before he's done. I think that is going to be in the cards before he's done for both of them. If anything, that might be their final matches. I think Cena would totally be open to ending it with Edge, and I think vice versa, because that is one of the greatest rivalries in history of WWE.
Yeah, but what else can they do that hasn't been done yet?
Put on a hell of a match and put a book on. He can come back as the official rated R superstar heel, and fucking Cena can go back to being the fucking people's champion, not the people's champion, but he can go back to being Cena.
I don't know about that, because I feel like SummerSlam, it seems like it's gonna be it's far away, but it's really not. It's
No,
gonna end
I'm
up
not talking about for SummerSlam. I'm talking about in general. I think it would be a good like final match for both of them. I think that would be a good match for both of them to hang it up entirely. Like they are the perfect duo.
I don't want this stable with Edge and Damian Priest to end anytime soon.
I want it to go for the remainder of 2022 into WrestleMania.
At least a year.
I want it to go into WrestleMania and that being their match.
Year.
Who else do you see? Whether it's somebody from NXT or somebody on the main roster already, who do you see like being a part of that stable along with them? Because it can't just be a trio.
Yeah.
No, I think Damian Priest. I feel like this reminds me a lot of, except this is a darker version of it. Edge is going to be Shawn Michaels.
He's going to be Marty Jannetty.
And Damian Priest is going to be Diesel. He's going to be Edge's bodyguard.
I can see it being Edge's bodyguard, but I think there's going to be some stability work there. I think there's going to be a stable.
What about they?
Edge is a manipulator.
What if they call up Harlan?
Priest is going to do all his dirty work.
He would fit perfect.
He would fit perfect, and you know who else would fit perfect?
No.
If they did the story right, I could see Seth Rollins joining that shit too. If they set up the story right, that is 3 huge fucking names. That is like a Brood Evolution. That is like a Brood Evolution type stable, and that would be unfucking stoppable.
Dude.
Mm-hmm. So anything else with this match before we move on to this next shitty match?
Can we just stay here for the next 2 hours and just,
shoot the
talk
shit
about how awesome this match was?
No, we can't, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, we
Running
can't.
out of time, man.
Unfortunately,
all right,
we can't.
This match was awesome. We can all agree. Let's just move on, man.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
So the next topic, unfortunately, we have to go from Edge versus AJ Styles to the New Day versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland.
It was a squash match. They were running low on time. They wanted to end it. There's not really a lot of storytelling that has been built up to really have it be a WrestleMania match. So I was kind of surprised that we got that match and not an IC title or United States title match that could have deserved, a match of that caliber. I just think it was pointless. I have nothing to say about it just because I'm not convinced by the rivalry. Big E's gone, so it's already like a numbers game. I think Pete Dunne is fantastic. I just think he should have went on his own. Pete Dunne. I think he should have just went on his own.
His name is Pete Dunne, man, not Butch.
It's bitch.
His name is
I will
Butch.
say, the funniest thing about the entire rivalry is, as you guys know, the match was supposed to happen on Saturday, but they ran out of time or whatever, so they moved it over to night 2. And I want to say it was either Sheamus or it was Xavier Woods on Saturday night before the main event. One of them just tweeted out an emoji of scissors, meaning like, oh, yeah, the match got cut from the card or whatever. I just like...
It should have.
Yeah.
It should have just been cut for the whole fucking event.
The only I feel like the real reason why they decided not to cut this is because they wanted the New Day to wear their freaking weird special gear that they wear every year. Which it was cool. It was cool that they honored Big E, but I'm just saying I feel like the only reason why they really
Big
had
E, Xavier Woods maybe still become a tag team or whatever. But I want to see Kofi Kingston come out to the SOS song and do the boom, 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 like old school shit, man.
Yeah, I think that's over. Just like Stardust, I don't think we're ever going to see him again.
Pat McAfee show on Saturday before the Mania, he fucking did the accent again.
I know, but he also went through the time machine as well. We got to see him for a split 5 seconds. We also got to see Triple H call him out, like, "Hey, aren't you supposed to be Jamaican?" And he was like, on live TV, and he was genuinely pissed off at him, like, "Hey, aren't you supposed to be Jamaican?"
Yeah. Yeah, so can we all agree that was like the worst match of like?
So I have no thoughts on it.
All right, moving on now to the next match here. Well, actually, not the next match because this was another segment here. The Undertaker had another standing ovation on night 2.
Yeah, I hate that there's a never say never thing because I really don't want him to compete again. I think that this is it. I hope not, but Vince's baby boy. So,
but I asked Donnie about this on Saturday when we were reviewing, because obviously, you couldn't review night 1 without talking a little bit about the Hall of Fame ceremony. What'd you think about it?
I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was spectacular. I'm glad that everybody was introduced first, but they gave Undertaker the floor for his specific angle and everything. I think that it was absolutely beautiful. I think that his ceremony was also great in the Hall of Fame as well. I think that they really executed that for him, and they really did him service for his 30+ year long career. And I think that this was just the perfect way to put the end on the book, close the fucking book finally, put it on the shelf, revisit, rewatch, but don't speak the words again because don't want to talk forever.
I will say, and Donnie, I think I told you this. I feel like everybody else got overshadowed because Undertaker was such a prolific,
he should have went in by himself this year.
Yeah, I think everybody else,
they did get very overshadowed.
The Steiner brothers, I mean, Vader, you had a solid inductees this year, but I feel like a lot of them, they're not really memorable because everybody was like, "Where's Taker?" You know what I mean?
I think Undertaker should have gone in himself this year, then everybody else should have gotten their moment next year.
Yeah, but you guys have to understand that Undertaker is one of the most selfless wrestlers out there.
No, so he probably of course, and I guarantee that that's what it was. Taker is a fucking 100% go get him fucking guy. 100.
I understand.
He's a legend.
He's a soldier.
But the only thing I'm saying is, guys
it did get overshadowed.
Shad Gaspar, we had Vader, we had the Steiner brothers. Mm-hmm. I mean, does anybody really remember any of their speeches or whatever?
No, but that's the thing.
Yeah, I do. I remember Scott Steiner 100%, doing the
but I agree with both thing. Of you. I agree with both of you. But I have to lean more towards Dan on this. I really do believe he should have had his own, because regardless if he wanted to include them or not, the only reason I'm saying this is because regardless if he did want them to have the spotlight, no matter what, they were going to get overshadowed because it is The Undertaker. He is the when you think pro wrestling, you think Undertaker. That is the first name that pops up.
Yeah, but let's kind of be honest here for a second. When it comes to the WWE Hall of Fame, let's be honest. We usually really don't give a shit about everybody else.
I know
except
that,
for
but
really
Undertaker,
one or two people.
No matter who goes in, you could have had stacked names going in.
Like next year. Next year, I guarantee you, Triple H will be the headline of it, and then what's going to happen is
I know that, but the thing is, you also have to remember,
little people.
Undertaker is above all.
And then Batista.
Above all. So that's why I'm saying, no matter how much you want to include somebody, it's always going to be overshadowed, which is why I'm saying, man, I have to agree with Dan. He should have gotten his own night because they should have known better. And everybody, it's like the Oscars with the Will Smith slap. Everybody else got overshadowed, and that's all they can fucking talk about. It's not fair.
Yep.
Yeah, so now moving on to our next match, which this one I thought was a very fun match, especially with the atmosphere in AT&T Stadium. We had Austin
I just want to say this
versus Pat McAfee.
I just want to say this right now. Pat McAfee should have been a pro wrestler in the first place. He should have been a part of the roster in the first place. Pat McAfee is my favorite. Quote me. Is my favorite, and if not the best non-in-ring competitor WWE has ever let fucking perform, period. Pat McAfee executed a flawless swanton bomb. Missed, but in the replay, it showed how professional he is because you saw him beautifully curl his neck, and he didn't hit on his back. He perfectly just folded. And it was a beautiful sell. I guarantee right now he did not feel any of that shit. That is how top tier and professional and just all around molded Pat McAfee is for this business. He has it. I could see a fucking WWE championship around his waist tomorrow, and I wouldn't even be upset.
I can definitely see him doing more in-ring stuff if he wants. I seen what he did in NXT with Adam Cole. Bro, dude is phenomenal.
He is. But WrestleMania overshadowed that shit. WrestleMania was his moment, and I want Pat McAfee in ring competition regularly, even if it's part-time. I want to see him hold a title.
You know what they're gonna do though? It's gonna be very similar to Jerry the King Lawler. They're gonna have him let him have his matches and stuff, but he's also gonna do commentary.
Yes.
You know what
Because
I
that's
thought
where
about?
he
One of the
gets a
best
lot
to
of
do
that
it, too.
entertainment
You know
from.
how when he always, starts dancing and gets on the table, whatever, when Shinsuke comes out? With Rick Boogs being out, what if they paired Shinsuke with Pat McAfee until Rick
That'd be
Boogs
great.
comes back?
That would
That'd be
be.
a
I would
fun
rather
tag
see him
team
with the
match.
tag team championships with Shinsuke than fucking Rick Boogs. However, I
Rick
do also want to
Booger.
honorably mention Vince and how much he loves Pat McAfee, clearly. Because Vince looked like he was having a hell of a time last night. Like, he looked like he was just having a good fucking
That man is
time.
ripped, dude.
Oh,
You can definitely tell
we're
that
getting into
he's
Vince
aged
pretty
with his
soon.
muscles, but you could tell he is fucking cut. Like, that dude is ridiculous for
He's
fucking
almost
60.
80.
I'm saying. Like, the dude is fucking ridiculous to this day still. Like, Vince looks so happy, man. Like, it's so good seeing him again, too, prominently on TV.
Doing the strut down to the ring.
No chance.
Yes.
That's what you got.
I really hope that we get him on Raw just so to hear that
No
crowd
chance.
like yell no chance.
in
That would be
hell, no,
awesome.
God. No
I
chance.
love that. But here's my thoughts now on the match. I thought that was a very
They both
fun
killed it.
match. Great match. Austin Theory looked absolutely phenomenal.
Yes.
I think this is the best position that they put him in because going against Pat McAfee, a fan favorite in the AT&T Stadium, made Austin Theory the most hated guy in that stadium, which I loved. And he took every advantage, every second of that, and
I want to say that everybody involved in
loved
that
it.
entire angle from Austin Theory to Stone Cold Steve Austin deserves a mega push, including fucking Pat McAfee. And can we talk about the gif that I want literally fucking yesterday of him just chugging the beer on the ground when the party's over, but you still got the party in you?
Yes.
Can we talk about what a stellar sell?
That was
What a
one of the
stellar
best Stone
sell
Cold
Austin
sells.
Theory did with the stunner, man.
Can we talk about the stellar sell that Pat McAfee did with the stunner, then spitting the beer out and flying the fuck backwards? Dude,
You
like,
know he's been dreaming of that since he was a kid.
Just
you know
time
that.
slot we got from Austin Theory, Pat McAfee to Vince versus Pat McAfee to fucking Stone Cold coming out and celebrating. That was just a feel-good moment, dude. I loved everything. My thoughts on the match between Austin Theory and Pat McAfee, another 5-star match. Another 5-star flawless match. Because even the storytelling building up with this feud has been fucking incredible.
Did
on
you guys
all
see
ends.
SmackDown on Friday with Pat McAfee? He was on the table dancing or whatever when Shinsuke was coming out. Austin Theory comes over the
and then he split
guardrail,
his leg.
hits McAfee's leg out. McAfee falls on the table. They start chasing each other to the backstage area. Pat McAfee kicks open the door and breaks the door to Mr. McMahon's office. And Vince McMahon's like, "What the hell are you doing? Do you want me to fire you and stop your match at WrestleMania?" And Pat McAfee's like,
"What the hell do you think you're doing?"
He's like, "Absolutely not." Just turns around and walks away.
I love this push with Austin Theory, man, because he really
the fact
is
that
the
he's
future.
younger than us is ridiculous, and he's killing it right now. And putting him with McMahon, I thought was going to be a stupid fucking way to go, but dude, I've loved every fucking second. I even like the egg segment.
It paid off at Mania.
It did.
It really paid off at
I was
Mania,
expecting to see Shane McMahon, though, not Steve Austin. That's who I was waiting for.
Fuck Shane McMahon. I have nothing to say about him.
I told you, Danny.
I know.
He was just going to the Hall of Fame.
Nobody can make you look better than Shane McMahon.
Yep.
Danny over.
Could you imagine how over Austin Theory would be if he beat the hell out of one of the McMahons?
Not yet, dude. It's not time for that
yet.
shit, boy.
It's not time. Let him be Vince McMahon's golden freaking child. It's perfect.
We'll grease the wheels when it's time, bro. Danny. Let it simmer. You have to let it simmer before it fucking overboils.
Patience.
I'm just saying, man. Look at all the superstars that Vince McMahon has taken under his wing, and then Shane McMahon ends up having a feud with at the end of the day.
Sorry. It's gold dust.
Oh, shit.
Remember when Goldust had the Tourette syndrome, and they had fucking
oh shit. Sorry.
And then the fucking remember the segment on Raw where they were at him and Booker T were at 7-Eleven getting Slurpees.
No, my favorite part about that.
Oh my
when
fucking
freaking Mini Goldust was humping Booker T's
that's when
leg.
those were the golden days of WWE, man. But we'll dive down memory lane in a little bit. But again, it was a 5-star fucking match between Austin Theory and Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
I thought it was absolutely incredible, and I will watch that match 1,000 times over.
And Vince McMahon with the worst sell imaginable for the stunner.
Yeah,
he looked like he got injured during that. Like even a couple people were saying that Vince looked like he hurt himself when he like rolled back. So I think he did another thing where he went to go slide in the ring and tore both of his quads. Anyways, I think it was another one of those scenarios.
Did you guys ever?
Yeah, no, that stunner fell. Everyone's overreacting about it being like the worst. Yes, it was the worst, but it's
Did
Vince
you ever
McMahon
think in
and Stone Cold. Like
2022
you
that
have
we
to
would
love
have McMahon getting stunned by Stone Cold Steve Austin again?
Two things to end it. No, no stunner cell will ever be worse than Linda McMahon's. Next, that was horrible.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, you're right about that. I loved as well, like how it all worked out, like how Pat after his match was running his mouth at Vince.
He's like, yeah,
athlete,
fucking you and the two-piece. I was like, oh
trash
no.
talk, so I loved it.
Just
and then Vince Vince has on his freaking black
excellent.
tank top. I loved it. I loved every second of that.
It was
anything else
match,
before
man.
we move on to
That's
our
all
main
I gotta
event?
say.
So much fun, and I just love it because Theory, it really paid off the whole Vince McMahon
not
theory.
Sleep on Pat McAfee. That motherfucker can go.
Pat McAfee is like is beyond on my radar. But it's like blinking out of control.
You know something? I feel like what they should really do on the night after Mania. Why not freaking have Ricochet lose the title to Austin
or have
his
Raw and the IC titles on SmackDown?
I want to see him go against Finn Balor.
Don't matter. Fuck that.
After I want a good rivalry though, because I want to also bleed into the reality of things of McMahon not really seeing much in Finn Balor.
Yeah, I really do want
he's
Vince
killing
to stay
it. That
by
is a great
Austin
duo
Theory's
to have
side,
together right now. But that's all I really got to say about that, man. Like, it's been great.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, so now moving on to our main event of WrestleMania, the greatest WrestleMania main event of all time. That's what they said. Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion, versus Brock.
The one thing I will say about it
WWE
before I know
champion.
Dan's going to go on his spiel, which I know is inevitable, and I'll let Dan go on his spiel first because I know it's going to be the longest fucking angle of this entire thing. But I just want to fucking.
Hey Ben, during when Danny goes on his rant, the best way for us, I think, is to take these off while he rants.
But I do want to say that this match had enormous amounts of potential. I think this match was going to be huge. Like, I thought it was going to be absolutely bonkers because of what was at stake. They booked it to be a heavy hitter. However, given the unfortunate events of Brock Lesnar just going a little too hard in his, strength that he does not know how to control sometimes, bad boy Brock. But I think it really ultimately came down to having to call the match a lot earlier than expected because of Roman's potential injury, because they did not want to further it any further, considering he was going to be finishing the match and taking home the gold. I think a lot was left out of it because of that, and that's why it bombed so bad. Now, Danny, you can go on your spiel. Wait, Dan, talk real quick.
Yeah, what's going on?
I can still hear you. Continue.
So I wouldn't even consider this the best match of the entire weekend.
Yeah,
honestly, every time we see Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns in a match together, it's pretty much the same shit over and over again. It's almost like playing like one of the WWE video games with somebody, and they're just spamming the same controls over and over again. And
I'm so fucking happy I can still hear you clearly, but continue.
I honestly feel like this match was a giant waste of time.
I do think so too. Well, not a waste of time, but an absolute unintentional, horrendous finish.
The way they built it up, the build was so good, but the
That's what I'm saying.
execution was not.
And then I think, again, it all angles down to the unfortunate case of actual real-life injury and the fact that I think Brock may have just went a little too hard. And he may say it's not on purpose, but I think it was a little intentional. Like, nah, give me those shits while he go heal up. You know, I'll take those. He could still be the tribal chief from home. He wasn't necessarily defeated.
I'm sorry.
I do too, but I think they might ban it
I
after because Roman's arm blew the fuck up right after, and he even said, "No, I can't. It's out. It's out." I was like, "Yeah, he's legitimately hurt."
Prior to that whole thing, yeah, Brock, I think, friggin' broke Triple H's arm with that.
Yes.
Shawn Michaels, John Cena. Oh yeah,
yeah, and he, like, Roman really, I think, got fucking injured.
Now,
he only does it when
the
it
question
matters.
on everybody's mind is, do you see Brock going away for a while, or do you see him? Because he apparently, the next several pay-per-views, he's scheduled to compete. He's scheduled to be there. I don't see him going away yet.
I don't see him going away yet, but I think this is definitely going to be his last run. Because he was retired, technically, after Drew McIntyre's match at WrestleMania. He was done. He hung up the boots, but the reason why he came back is cha-ching. But he even said in the Pat McAfee, I think, interview that he was 100% done and he was retired and he had no intention on coming back. But, obviously money, plans were right. The storyline, I'm assuming, was enticing. He got to do a lot more of his own work now. He got a lot of creative control. He's the mouthpiece for himself, which obviously is over.
I love this new Brock, man. Apparently,
I love everything about it.
Legitimately him.
Yeah, dude, like, this is a fresh feel on the Beast Incarnate, dude. Like, this isn't even the Beast Incarnate. This is fucking Brock Lesnar light, and I'm here for it.
I feel like if Brock Lesnar ever wanted to get into, like, acting or anything like that, he'd be able to pull it off. Because, I mean, he went from, somebody that looked like he fucking hated everything and everyone to now be, taking pictures with everybody and, going out with
I love that. And that's exactly why I'm saying I think this might be his final run and he wants to do something different that's more in touch and in tune with the fans, that's more personal, that he can, give him a good send-off where he can kind of break kayfabe a little bit, but still be the Brock Lesnar that we know. Mm-hmm. He can still have that in-ring, but a little bit more personality. We're getting to see, a more comfortable side of Brock, which is making him, I'm assuming, more of a friendly person in general and more open to meeting fans.
Yeah.
So, which I think it's great. I do too, so badly, but I think
really want to meet
he
Brock.
would come off as intimidating because he's already a very shy and reserved person.
I'd be like, dude, don't give me the Kimura lock, man. I'm not Roman Reigns.
Dude, I would give him I would literally be like, here's $500. Can you give me an F5 through your signing booth right now? And can I film it? He'd be like, bet.
Hey, did you guys see the night before the Royal Rumble, he fucking body slammed Wee Man through the table at that restaurant?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's fucking Wee Man. It's part of the Jackass crew, and I'm assuming he's a fan, so hell fucking yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think overall this match, in my opinion, I know you guys felt a certain way. I love the energy, and usually for me, like, when the energy is hot, I just tend to really be more
I'm not taking away by any means. It was a fucking phenomenal match. Roman Reigns was getting tossed around like a fucking ragdoll for the first quarter of it. Like, I loved it. And I loved his doubts in the middle of the match. Like, him actually being like, shit, I might not actually fucking win this. Like, I might be fucked. And, like, it was good seeing, like, him off of the high horse and him off of the pedestal and actually have someone living in his head rent-free. Like, it was nice. And the in-ring between both are obviously going to be fucking extraordinary because Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns are, let's face it, some of the greatest to do it in recent times. Like, I thought it was a phenomenal match for what it was, but we got robbed.
That's my only thing. Like, it did not live up to the hype, best WrestleMania match, in existence or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Did you see
injury.
when at the beginning of the match, before the match actually started, you saw Brock Lesnar. He usually wears those fucking UFC gloves.
Took them right off.
He was taking them off, and you could see the look. Like Roman Reigns was like, he was
already. He's like, fam, we haven't even fucking locked yet, and you're already taking this shit off. He's like, oh, the gloves are off immediately. I'm like,
he looks scared a little bit.
He looked shook.
When Brock was chasing Paul Heyman, he was like, don't. It was Roman's fault. It was Roman's fault. I love you. I want you back.
And then just got fucking side-speared through the fucking barricade. I'm like, dude, this is absolutely fucking awesome. But again, it all came down to Roman potentially getting injured. That really robbed us of everything we could have gotten out of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but the thing I really like, though, if you look back at WrestleMania 31, Roman versus Brock, you can look how scared Roman was and just how shook he was compared to now. This man is handling himself like a goat,
Roman Reigns the fucking
the
tribal chief gimmick and turning him super heel, keeping the belt on him, giving him a mouthpiece, even though he can carry it now by himself. This is everything that I'm saying due to Omos. Give him tweaks, make a most hated star into one of the best to do it, and have him over with the fucking crowd. That's going to take some time and some fucking some
Omos,
callous.
That's going to take years, man.
No, he wasn't.
Where do you guys
Roman
see this
wasn't
going
perfect
now,
overnight?
Though? Because it just seems like Roman has ran through everybody in WWE. Like, who could possibly be able to take the title off of him at some point? You know what I mean?
He will be champion for 2 years.
I heard somewhere
and then he's gonna lose
that WWE is planning on making a babyface again at some point. But who are they gonna build up to be able to take the title off of Roman? Because they're making him seem like this indestructible force. You know what I mean?
I know where they're going after this. After this, there are scheduled matches between him and Drew McIntyre. There's a triple threat between him, McIntyre, and Rollins coming up, but the angle going forward is going to be between him and Drew, which I'm genuinely excited for because that means we're going to be seeing a new side of Drew coming back into the Universal title picture. And this is where I can see Roman dropping it to, is Drew, because he hasn't gotten the Universal title yet. And to give him that significant push, because Drew could be the one to throw off Roman Reigns. I 100,000% stand by that shit. I am a Drew McIntyre mark.
No, I'm going to tell you right now who it's going to be that takes that championship off of him.
No.
The Almighty.
Not even close.
Lashley.
No, I'm way off the radar.
What about?
Yes, it is.
Nope.
Yes, it will.
He does. What about Kevin Owens?
Wait till the draft. Wait till they do the draft again.
I could see more so being taken from Drew McIntyre with Kevin Owens, because McIntyre is just a little step under Roman Reigns in terms of star power and backing.
Unless they had a triple threat match, so it seemed like a more plausible
Bobby
situation.
Lashley has more power than all these guys,
and have Kevin Owens be the Rey Mysterio.
Kevin Owens. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns triple threat match.
I could see that happening with Drew McIntyre, not Roman Reigns. I can see that happening with Drew McIntyre because Drew McIntyre is right underneath Roman for the face of the company. 100%. I think Drew McIntyre will be the one to take it off Roman, and he will have a Universal title reign because that is the only next big star that you can put the Universal title on that will be able to be a newer star to carry it. And I think, and because here's the thing, Drew McIntyre has it all. Mic skills, in-ring performance, fucking fan base, company backing. The dude has a lot of creative control now too because he is one of their top guys. Drew McIntyre could be the one. I think Drew McIntyre could develop in this long-standing feud. If they decide to go Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns at some point, I would love if Drew McIntyre created his own bloodline.
But you gotta look at it from the point of Lashley couldn't take Roman out. Brock couldn't take anybody out.
Fantasy booking.
Do you think Drew McIntyre would be that guy after the amount of people that Roman ran through?
I do. I 100% believe that. 100. I think Drew McIntyre is the guy. And I'm going to say this. Quote me.
I just don't think like if Brock Lesnar or Bobby Lashley couldn't even get the job done, I just don't know about Drew.
Do you want to say? Do you want to know? I'm going to say Drew. I'm going to say Drew because they're going to give him his big moment that he couldn't do in front of the crowd, and they're going to do it with the Universal title, and they're going to do it in front of everybody to give him the moment he was fucking robbed of.
I'm not saying it.
He's the dude they could do it for.
I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm not saying I'd be mad if it did happen. I'm just saying, like, how would you make it make sense with everybody that Roman has ran through?
With the new feud that's going forward. They're both on SmackDown, bro.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Roman beat Brock.
Drew McIntyre.
And you know who beat Brock as well?
Here's the thing. Drew McIntyre also took a title off of Brock. Did Bobby Lashley? Yes. But with fucking interference, bitch.
Yes, he did. Royal Rumble.
With interference, bitch. McIntyre took that shit clean.
I still say that the Royal Rumble match between Brock and Lashley was pretty much pointless.
Let's be honest here. Sami Zayn's gonna win titles.
People are saying that.
Sami Zayn.
People are saying that. Give Cody Rhodes an opportunity.
Veer Mahan.
Cody Rhodes, if he's getting an opportunity, it's going to be the WWE title first, not Universal. Universal's for the heavyweights.
What I'm saying is, what if they like?
He gets it.
Nothing's been confirmed yet. But what if they do get rid of one of the titles? What if they retire the Universal title at some point? Maybe they can bring it back. Obviously, it's not.
They wouldn't because the Universal title is the prestigious title. The Universal title is the World Heavyweight title of WWE. That is the prestigious. That is the title to go for. That means something.
They're combining it into one title. Haven't you seen the pictures of what the new belt supposedly looks like?
No, I haven't.
There was a big ass fucking picture
until you see it on
fucking Dallas
television.
next to the arena. It was like what the title's gonna look like.
I don't know, but we are about 45 minutes till showtime. So I'm gonna say let's take our last 4 minutes to kind of think about what's going on for Raw and close it at a good 2 hours.
Yeah.
All right, so Don, you go first.
I agree. All right, here's what I think is going to happen. Veer Mahan is going to be wrestling Mansoor tonight, and he is going to beat his ass in 2 minutes.
Got you.
That's right, 2 minutes. That's
my
next
first prediction.
All right, now
Edge
you go.
and fucking
Your turn.
Edge and Damian Priest are going to have an angle about what happened to fucking AJ. They're going to cut a promo. They're going to talk about their reasoning. AJ is going to somehow be involved, maybe mystery partner.
I think Cody's definitely Cody already said that he's going to be cutting a promo tonight, and I think it's all he's going to be answering all the questions. Why is he back? Why did he? Obviously, he's not going to mention AEW or whatever, but he's where has Cody Rhodes been the last 6 years? You know what I mean? I feel
where's he been in his head? What was his accomplishments? Why is he back in particular? We're going to get those. I already know why.
Yes, we are. My next prediction, I say for an NXT debut, we are going to get
Tommaso
LA
Ciampa.
Knight.
I was going to say Tommaso Ciampa as well.
Who's going to come?
Saturday was his last match, man. In NXT.
I think Tommaso Ciampa, and if Cody Rhodes is wrestling anybody, it's going to be Seth Rollins. There's gonna be some kind of feud going on there because Seth Rollins ain't gonna let this shit slide. It was too big of a fucking night.
There's a lot of women that have been out over the last couple of months. We got Lacey Evans, we got Bayley, we got Asuka. Who do you think returns tonight?
All fucking three.
All three?
No,
I think they're gonna save Bayley for SmackDown.
I feel like they're gonna save.
But they're gonna have
Asuka
and Lacey back on Raw. I think Bayley goes to SmackDown. I think he goes to SmackDown
because I do think.
It just seems right. It just seems that's her brand.
Bayley was in SmackDown before she left. So maybe she does want to change the scenery.
Maybe. But I think at least Lacey Evans is a confirmed lock. I think she will be there tonight. Out of all of them, Lacey Evans. And I hope
I definitely
they
think
give her a
well.
push because she was supposed to be the one that was supposed to originally take the title. So I hope.
And here's a maybe an underrated one. I think there is going to be a women's tag team from NXT getting called up. One of them will probably get called up with a video.
Hey man,
or something.
So
anything else before we close off
this
WWE's
episode? Instagram account. Here's what's confirmed for tonight.
I see Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes. Roman Reigns. Veer Mahan. Those are the three confirmations. So
Roman Reigns. Oh, shit. So we're going to see him fucked up.
Yes.
Roman Reigns is going to be on Raw tonight, and he has both the belts. Oh, God.
How dare you call out the fucking tribal chief when your ass fucking missed like 12 exits on the way to fucking Raw, waited for Tom Brady to retire and come back, and we had fucking Russia bomb the fucking Ukraine before he even made his debut. We had a lot of shit go down. Who the fuck are you to call out the tribal chief for anything? Job out to Manzor, you fucking bitch. Continue.
All right. All right, guys. If you enjoyed this Night 2 review and just an overall view on WrestleMania, make sure to smash that like button now. If you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, the best way to support the channel is by hitting that subscribe button now, turning on the post notifications. The links are down in the description below. You can go follow Danny over on his reaction channel, which he had to delete his old channel, so go help him out, get him some subs. And, of course, you can go check him out on Danny H Vlogs, where he does wrestling vlogs and watch-alongs to the shows live. So go support Danny over there. His links will be down below. Also, you got to go support Ben as well. He is actually a part of the We Are Wrestling channel. He has some things coming up pretty soon that you guys should definitely be looking forward to. He also has a reaction channel as well. And they also do a podcast outside of the We Are Wrestling channel, the Two Sticks and Pure Rage. So go check that out. All the links are down in the description below. And of course, you can't forget the best one here, Donnie. Go follow me on my social medias and of course my two channels, Best One Network, vlogs, Funko, you name it, we probably film it. And of course, DBTV, where I do nothing but basketball content. Brooklyn Nets. Links are down in the description below. But of course, all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, we gotta go because the grind is real.
Guys.
And we got some Monday Night Raw to watch.
Man. It was absolutely good hanging. Thank you guys so much for watching again on this fucking episodic talk show of We Are Wrestling, the WrestleMania fucking review. It was absolutely bonkers. Hope you guys all had a great WrestleMania fucking weekend. Y'all are still reeling in, and guess what? There's still more. The last event, Raw after Mania. Hope you guys all enjoy it. Like always, stay safe, be safe. We will see y'all in the next one.
Peace.